All right, guys, welcome back to Total Disclosure. My name's Ty, and I am the host and creator of the show. Before we get started, I just want to ask everyone watching, if you are watching on YouTube, Rumble, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. It really helps with the algorithm. These shows don't do so well on that algorithm, as we know, especially shows like this that we're about to do. So tonight we'll be diving into a developing story, and I'll be presenting the positions of both the positives and the negatives of the new claims, or claims from a new individual that reveals some new information, but confirm what the UFO community has already heard or been told to some degree down the line, down the path somewhere. I don't think any of the information was revolutionary, but to have it be able to be tied to a person, individual, other than some of the folks that we've known in the past, which we will talk about. Again, it is not my job to pick sides, but rather to present all the information possible and let you decide who is Jason Sands. So some months ago, and this is being quoted from a tweet, not a tweet, it's a Reddit post by U-Gobble Gobble. They did a really good job transcribing an event. But some months ago, we'll start here. Some months ago, James Fox, the filmmaker, as we know, he is in development of his latest project, rumored that I think the project name is the Program, something to that degree. And he's been hard at work since the Virginia documentary did its rounds. He's been working on this documentary, and he's promised firsthand knowledge. And all of a sudden, last couple, I think it was on 420 actually. So was he just high, and he just decided to come out and not tell Jane? I don't know. It just seems like there was some miscommunication because there was a teaser tweet that showed a clapperboard. So clapperboard, see that board right here? Right here. So it showed one of those with Jason's name on it. And it was definitely for the film that James is working on now. So it does lend some credibility to this man's claim. And to his thing, because I do trust James Fox. I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying that James doesn't do his job vetting, doesn't do his job. He just he's a UFO grifter, just because he makes documentaries and they think he makes money, which is actually not the case. If anyone knows Fox's story, he's actually probably not made too much money. He might have made money with starting with the Virginia documentary. Discovery really did a number on him in the beginning, and took a lot away, and kind of left him either bankrupt, and having just self-funded a film, basically a feature-length presentation for them. And then it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, but there was the clapperboard that showed his Jason Sands name on it. But he deleted the picture. So that it leads me in a couple different directions, because, and we'll get to some of, so the space unfortunately wasn't recorded, but I reached out to Spaced Out Radio. They do have, I have it right here, part of the testimony. So we'll play some of that. We'll listen to Jason Sands speak in that space through the clip from Spaced Out Radio. Shout out to them for capturing this while it happened, because the spaces was impromptu. They weren't expecting Jason, apparently, from what I can gather from the people who were involved. And just from there, kind of just took off. And you can't change the settings of a space once it's going, so it does make sense. But see, that's the thing about spaces, right? That's the thing. It does allow for that community engagement, right? Where someone could pop right in, pop right on, but it doesn't. It, they're like, you have to like, all right, I know I want to save this one. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. But all right. So his name was floating around since that time as a potential one of these 40 other whistleblowers that David Grush talked about that James Fox could have tracked down through his work doing it on the documentary, the program, like I said. So it made sense when this Jason fella started talking about James on the space, saying that he's like a brother from another mother, that he told him that he was doing it. It didn't seem like James Fox was, from the tone at least, this is what I would gather. If I was a filmmaker and I had this testimony that was in my film, um, I would have at least asked him to stay quiet until the release, but maybe that was just something that they negotiated beforehand. So I don't think that that's because I have a list of pros and cons that we'll go through. I think for each of these things that he said, but I don't think that that's not necessarily positive or negative. I think that's just kind of the story, and that's fine, right? Like I said, unrecorded spaces, unprompted. Maybe who knows? It was 420. Maybe he was feeling a little. Maybe he did like eat a brownie or two and decide, hey, you know what? I'm gonna jump on this space, tell my story. I'm sick of. I just want to tell it now. I want it's bubbling over. The edibles are kicking in. The seltzer's kicking in. Whatever it may have been. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, it happened, and it seems like so. And I will mention that he mentions keywords like 20 and back, which insinuate they bring us back to Corey Good, right? And claims of IP deposition that we're going to go into. So there are two sides to this whole story, right? Because there's the secret space program aspect that I want to dive into. And Teresa was supposed to be here. Her doctor's appointment went a little over. So I'm going to try to fill the time as possible, much as possible. But I do need some help from you, the audience. I know we got a couple people listening in. We're already over 100, but mostly probably on Twitter, and those chats don't come in for some reason. But let's get into. I want to pull up the clip from Spaced Out Radio, and I want to obviously let everyone listen to the testimony that was given. But I do have, like I said, a good pretty good. This gobble person on Reddit did an amazing, like I said, amazing job transcribing it while it was live. And good thing that person did this, because if they didn't, it would have been much less. Much less to tackle as a story after the fact. So maybe that could even be why Jason did it that way, is he didn't think anyone would be. But the UFO community is relentless, and I guess everybody should know that. They were going to pick up on this, and especially with Astral and those guys, they are not shy. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys decide. But here is the clip from Spaced Out Radio. All right, so we'll get this playing. Just let me know if everyone can hear it. Again, this is not mine. I do not own the rights to this video. I'm using it in a fair use kind of way, an educational purpose way, to tell the story and break the news. So this is just a commentary over what they collected. And huge shout out to Spaced Out Radio for being on the nose with this one, because I don't think, again, it would be hard to talk about this story without having at least some of it. So I did you, the audience, a favor. I skipped ahead to right where it starts, which is about 113.50. So here we go. Let's listen to some of it.
I think they would welcome us and just say, look at the human race. They finally come into full bloom. Look how beautiful they are.
Oh,
Welcome,
you can't see.
welcome to the family. I think that's what's going to happen eventually, but we're just not there yet.
Yeah, it's like us meeting them halfway
So
somehow
this is
through
actual
consciousness development or technological,
speaking.
spiritual. That's the big question of
Yeah.
like,
Good buddy.
you know, how contact is actually happening or is taking place.
Yeah, and so it has a lot to do with us finding our own way and our own path forward. But I think we're going to have to do a lot better at trying to get along with each other first. And I think that has a lot to do with,
So this is him
again,
speaking.
each
This
of
is
us
Jason
knowing
speaking.
who we are, and that, you know, yeah, we do have to keep our own governments in check. And I think in America, that's a really, and in the free world, the Western nations and Britain included, that, you know, we have a great opportunity in these in the nations where freedoms are tantamount and held high. We're able to get to a different place when it comes to helping things, but we have got to come up with a way to keep the government in check, because I've seen so many times where we've wanted to do the right thing, but somebody pays big bucks to make it not happen.
So
And I will say
Jason,
this, guys.
that was amazing, by the way. But
He did release his DD2.
do you feel like there's a how
214.
can we dovetail these two topics? If
Mhm.
the information you're sharing right
I'm pausing this right now. So he did share his DD214. So the guy is he shared it today. I believe today. It's going to be hard for anyone to see that, but if anyone does want the document, I'll link it below. But so he did. He's a decorated veteran. Decorated veteran with a long career, and he was able to prove that with his DD214 and a couple other things. But a lot of the skeptics are jumping hard on him, uh, filling all the holes, and that included, unfortunately, a situation with Jeremy McGowan. Jeremy's been known to be a skeptic, but he started sharing this website about this guy, and I just wanted to interrupt with this because we need to stop doing this, right? We need to stop. If someone comes out like this, right, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt until you have beyond a reasonable doubt evidence to not believe or to go one way or the other, right? You should always start from a neutral position and work from there. If you're starting from a biased or a non this is not possible, you're going to get a this is not possible answer, and find the evidence that you want. You're going to cherry pick. It's going to happen subconsciously. So that's my problem. And less people are going to come forward if they're attacked viciously by the community on day one. That's what I will say. Because I think everyone needs to say, who is Jason Sands? What is he saying? At the core of it, what is he saying? And where do we go? What are the implications? What are the